Hello and welcome. This hour, the Bank of Ghana says measures are being put in place to go after companies and individuals pricing goods and services in dollars without permit. This comes after the central bank cautioned businesses to desist from such acts, especially when it's having a toll on the city's performance against major currencies. We have more in this report.
Speaking at a public lecture under the theme Warning of Fraudulent Investment Schemes in Ghana at the University of Ghana, Dr. Joseph France disclosed that the central bank will partner other security agencies to undertake special operations in the country to stop the canker. Dr. France stated that the exercise will be undertaken unannounced to enable the security agencies to arrest the perpetrators in the act.
You and I who patronize these products, the Bank of Ghana cannot be everywhere. So you get an institution pricing in dollars that is not authorized to price in dollars. All you need to do is to send information to us. And we have a lot more institutions selling. Yes, we go after institutions that are not supposed to price in dollars, who price in dollars. We go after them. We will not advertise when we are going after corporates, but we go after institutions. Of course, this is a continuum. I mean, you cannot go after them. And fraudsters coming. We started chasing after fraudsters and thieves, but they still come. So we'll do our bit to sensitize you on that, and also go after those, the corporates. There can be recalcitrant ones, but we'll still go after them to deter. And we work with the security agencies to do that.
Head of Policy Research and Information Technology at the Security and Exchange Commission, Emmanuel Ashon Katai, assured that the Commission will work with other relevant stakeholders in the financial sector to prevent the public from being duped in fraudulent investment scheme that promise outrageous returns. He added that the Commission will achieve the feat by increasing its presence across the regions to boost confidence in its activities.
Yes, it's a resource constraint, but we do have plans to extend our presence to the regions. You know, we are now considering doing that. But at the same time, we are using the mass media, which reaches out to the length and breadth of the country. So our presence is still felt out there by using the mass media and also the social media. Of late, we have intensified our activities on social media. So people do hear of SEC, but we are still taking steps to physically be present in the regions, maybe in the northern sector and the southern sector.
The public lecture was part of the Financial Literacy Month organized by the University of Ghana Business School.
A research by Aya Institute of Women and Gender shows women and SMEs are being left behind in the African Continental Free Trade Agreement. The study concludes that the majority of women-led businesses are unaware of the Single Market Pact and hence had not prepared adequately before its commencement. Take a look at this report.
The Aya Institute's research revealed that about 72% of traders and 54% of companies are unaware of the AFCFTA. A researcher with the Institute, Eunice Penyin Ofe, is urging the Secretariat and government to educate women-led MSMEs on the benefits they could derive from the pact.
There needs to be immediate sensitization because this is a year after the commencement of the AFCFTA and people still don't know about it. That is presenting such opportunities to trade across Africa. So people need to know about it. And then also the financial assistance, the other major concern of this, that the government should provide financial assistance or make it favorable for these businesses to be able to access loans to fund their businesses, expand and then grow.
Marketing manager for the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Grace Jeble, advised women in MSMEs to consider collaborations to enable them access funds.
When you pull resources together, it is always better than one person standing. The challenge we have here in our part of the world is that people love to own 1%, 100% of a 100 CD business than to own 1% of $1 million business. It is very, very important that the women come together and pull their resources together so that they will be able to benefit from the synergies among themselves. What you are weak in, the other will be strong in that area. And like he said, it also makes it easier for you to access funding.
Sector Chair for Agribusiness under the Association of Ghana Industries, Fatima Mohammed, outlined some initiatives her outfit is implementing to support women-led agribusinesses and AFCFTA.
At the Association of Ghana Industries, we have the wing in terms of women in business, and we work with various women sectors. So it's not only agriculture, so we look at the whole agro-processing angle, so from the farming side to the processing to packaging and branding. So we have a lot of interventions, workshops and conversations with them because we are more on the policy side, and then we get them linked up to agencies like the GIZ and others where they come in and get support in terms of mechanization or training in terms of finance or whatever else that they need in that area.
The research assessing the potential of women-led MSMEs in Ghana to take advantage of AFCFTA was supported by the German Corporation, Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and the Association of Ghana Industries.
And joining me to discuss is Country Director of CAT International, Pierre Kusudumalko. Grateful that I could join us. The benefit of women to this Single Market, Act is unquestionable. For such research echoing the deficit in information sharing is very worrying. How dark can this be to Ghana's economic realization of AFTA's benefits?
Thank you very much, Charles. I think AFCFTA is still at the early stages yet, and we say that the rising tide does not lift all boats, especially for those who are stuck at the bottom. I hope that with passage of time, as the sensitization work has started, more Ghanaians, especially women, traders, and business leaders, would have a full understanding of the AFCFTA.
But of course, it took us years to prepare for the, coming on board of this initiative. But from your observations at CAT International, how active has the role of women been in the participation of the Continental Free Trade Agreement area?
The AFCFTA also look at gender. In the past treaties, gender was not given a concern, but now for this AFCFTA, it places an emphasis on gender, women, and children. And it sees it because once women are empowered, their resources or their returns of their investment goes way in hand to support their families, help their children stay in school, improve upon livelihood, and also improve upon nutrition. And so it's a very key to, AFCFTA in making sure that it does not become another male-led enterprises.
Indeed, but of course, you rightly stated that we are in the initial stages of its rollout. But help us appreciate how it's, coming on board with Ghana's business community, how the business community is also welcoming, if not participating in this trade pact. Because it's not just about women. The research quite, helps us understand that 54% of persons within the business community have no idea, limited idea when it comes to the Continental Free Trade Agreement area.
Yes, as I said earlier on, it's still at the early stages, and as time goes on, and I'm told that there's a lot of sensitization programs that have been rolled out in the coming months, and there's also some social media and songs and jingles that will be rolled out, and all these things are geared towards getting Ghanaian businesses to, one, there's two things. There's one thing, having a knowledge about it, and two, the second one is also one thing, becoming prepared for it. And I think the first step is getting knowledge about it, and the second step is also becoming prepared as a business, because you may not be able to export to other African countries, but other countries will want to export into this Ghanaian market. And if you are not competitive, people will not buy your product. And so it's very, very important. Information is important, and also your capacity as a business, as a trader is also important, so that you can also compete in this Central African market.
Peter Mark, we're grateful that you could join us on this issue. He's the Country Director of CATS International, helping us appreciate issues regarding information sharing and how prepared the business community, especially women, are in participating in this single market pact. You're still watching Marketplace with me, Charles Aite. Let's now turn to the fisheries sector, because the SAP sector recorded stellar performance in 2021, recording a 13.4% growth after years of zero to negative growth. The government statistician made this known, stating this performance triggered an overall growth in the agri sector by 8.4%. Joining us to discuss is Enoch Boydu Amo, the Deputy Director in charge of Research, Statistics and Information Management Directorate at the Ministry of Fisheries and Aquaculture Development. We're grateful, as always, that you could make time to join us. 13.4% growth in the fisheries SAP sector. What accounted for this improved performance in 2021, especially when the SAP sector has recorded some, negative growth in previous years?
I think basically it's just implementing measures that were aimed at recovering the stocks that were depleting, and also stopping IUU, and then improving data collection for both the artisanal, the marine side, the aquaculture, and then the inland subsector. So the growth has come so far. So there are indications that shows that there were improvement in catches after the close season, and then for illegal, unreported, unregulated fishing activities, was very tough on it. We know the Honorable Minister when he came clamped down on cycle, and so most fishes in this vessels were landing. Now reporting was carefully on the activities more on the inshore, so it's also shot up. And then for the inland sector, the fish that we get from the Volta Lake and the other lakes, there was improved data collection. So we see that for inland sector, the figure shot from 145,000 metric tons, from 80,000 metric tons to 145 metric tons in 2020, between 2020 and 2021. So this shows that is a more of better improvement in data collection, clamp down on illegal activities, and then the improvement in the recovery that we are implementing, the process in that we are implementing, and that we thank the stakeholders for the support, the cooperation they are giving to us, especially the artisanal and then all industrial sector for cooperating with us in this close season program.
Indeed, and of course, help us expand more on the close season program, because each and every year that this particular law is passed, or this particular directive is enforced, we get this opposition by the fisher folk, some of the fisher folk who cite the implications on their livelihood. So what's going to be special about this year's arrangement?
Yes, we understand that closing the sea for 1 month, but ideally the sea is closed. Looking at how they fish, the close season is between 14 days to 16 days because of the appearance of the moon. We see that fishing is more tied to their economy, but we've also realized that the catches are going down. And as we put in measures to stop illegalities, if we allow the sea to rest for a while, then we could, in the medium to long term, we could recover the stocks that they are going down. The fishermen themselves will attest to the fact that for some time now, when they go to sea, they catch a little and they catch a lot of rubbers. So these are measures that we are hoping that it will calm down and help recover the stocks. We will also provide some modicum of support in this close season, as last year we did some 15,000 bags of rice and oil. But these are not enough. That's why we tried to come up with an announcement earlier so that the fishermen themselves can provide themselves, prepare adequately so that they can support themselves within the period. Going forward, in the next years coming, we will continue to dialogue with the fishermen on what alternative livelihood projects can be done for them so that when they are not fishing, they can be doing something else. I think that would be a long-term thing that the ministry is looking to engage the fishermen on so that fishing, though it's a hobby and it's a cultural thing, will be used as an alternative livelihood, not the main livelihood, so that when we ask people to stop, it will not impact much on their livelihood.
That's quite impressive. So what's being done, therefore, to maintain, if not improve, your performance for 2021?
We will keep on going at zero tolerance towards illegal activities on the sea. We'll continue this year. We've already announced that the close season for the artisanal or the industrial canoes and the artisanal semi-industrial vessels will come on from 1st July to 31st July. Whilst the industrial one, the trawlers, will start from 1st July to 31st August. And then we have other measures that we are introducing. In these measures, we are ensuring that nobody is going back to illegal activities. We've encouraged the Navy and the Marine Police to go ahead. And we're also speaking with the industrial activities. There's a ministerial directive on the industrial sectors to change their GS that they are using so that they can get GS that is friendly to the resource harvesting, so that we can ensuring that there's sustainability in the sector.
Mr. Enoch Bodu-Amark, we're grateful that I could join us with this information regarding what you're doing to improve your numbers, especially when, the fisheries sector has recorded some massive growth, 13.4% in 2021 after years of negative to zero growth. Grateful for your time once again. Let's now shift our attention to the banana industry, because exporters there are lamenting over the negative impact of the Russia-Ukraine war on their businesses. According to the exporters, the war has compelled banana suppliers from Latin America to Eastern Europe to divert their supply to traditional export areas in Western Europe, where Ghanaian exporters control portions of the market. The secretary of the Banana Exporters Association, George Boyer, stated that the situation is causing fruit exporters from Ghana to run at a loss. He joins us for more via Zoom. You say the war in Ukraine is distorting your market access to Eastern Europe. How so?
Thank you for having me. Situation is that traditionally Eastern European countries have supplied the Russia, Belarus, and Ukraine with bananas. They export around 1.8 to 2 million tons a year. Now, the situation is that the main European market is quite controlled, and so you just cannot deliver anything that you want. However, this is our traditional market, but because these fruits cannot go through these countries normally through the port of Odessa because of the war, attempts are being made to down some of these fruits in the traditional markets of mainland Europe. And in a situation where we already are having challenges with increased input costs from fertilizer to all other inputs, if we have also at the same time a situation where our prices are significantly undermined because of this dumping, this would be a major crisis for the industry.
And what's going to be the trickle-down effect on the farm gates to the market centers in Ghana?
This is a perishable product. We can't store it. So anything that we don't export will mean that we cannot sell them. So what will mean is that it will affect production. Export volumes will be considerably reduced, and sustaining the plantations will become a major problem.
Let's talk about alternatives. What kind of alternative, measures are you now putting in place to ensure that you cushion yourself against this threat?
So what is happening is that because we have various agreements with the European Union, typically the European Partnership Agreement, where there are safeguard clauses, against such things, we have drawn the attention to the European authorities when Strasbourg 2 weeks ago, to the European Parliament to draw attention to these issues. So we are hoping that the safeguard measures will be kicked in to ensure that we are protected. Alternatively, the industry is making efforts to expand within Africa, as an alternative source of markets, and efforts have been done. My company, Golden Exotics, exports already around 20% within West Africa, in the Sahelian region mostly, yes. Senegal, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, and also Benin here. So efforts are already underway to diversify the market base. However, Europe remains, for now, the main markets, and it is important that all signatories to the various agreements, do their part to ensure that the business is protected.
Indeed, and we shall be looking out for updates when it comes to that part of intervention. But, today is World Banana Day, and of course, I know we all love bananas. We want to know how Ghana is looking at the fruit to increase production. What is the production capacity, first of all, of Ghana when it comes to the producing of banana over the last decade? Has it improved or is dwindling?
Yes, it's improved significantly. Ghana's share of banana markets to Europe has improved significantly. Together, Africa is really not so huge compared to the rest. I think we are about 9% of the European market. We supply about 9% of the European market. In Ghana, banana produced for export, but that's different from the traditional banana, has increased significantly. I think over the last, I checked, over the last 5 years, it has increased by 42%. So this is one of the major drivers of the non-traditional export sector.
Impressive. And how is Ghana doing in banana production as compared to its peers in West Africa?
Oh, we are quite small compared to our neighbors. Ivory Coast, for instance, exports over 350,000 tons. Cameroon, which is the other major banana producer, was doing around 300,000 tons until the war in 2019. So now they are doing less than 200,000 tons. Ghana, we are around 82,000 tons, but we are fast growing.
That's good to know. So, I mean, you have cited the Russia-Ukraine war. There's just aside of the challenges that the industry faces as we speak now, but what remains the existing threat to banana production in Ghana as we speak?
Yeah, locally, access to land is a major issue. Banana needs to have access to large body of water, so mostly you notice that the current banana production takes place around the lower water basin. However, there are other areas where banana could grow. Unfortunately, these are the areas where we also have galamsey, so actually for such products, we don't want to grow them in an area where you have the potential having heavy metals, incorporated, absorbed by the plant. So this it rules out a large portion of potential areas where we could grow banana. So that is one issue. The other issue is that access roads to most of the farms has become a challenge, especially in the last few years with the rains. So we have had to spend a lot of money fixing the roads around the plantation just so we can deliver the fruits to the port. Another important issue, which is a matter of policy, is that over the years, the Ministry of Food and Agriculture has put various policies and projects in place to support the fruit export sector. And one of them is especially the facilities at the port of Tema to ensure that we have the means to export our fruits in a congenial atmosphere and at a cost-effective way for us to remain competitive on the international market. Unfortunately for us, over the years, third parties have elbowed in on all these facilities, appropriated them for their own use and inserted themselves in the value chain. Which means that export has to be done at an additional cost. This is an issue that will affect the competitiveness of Ghanaian exports. I mean, horticulture exports generally. So
indeed. Mr. Koya, I just want us to end briefly on this point that you raised, the impact of illegal mining on banana production. What recommendations do you have to solve the challenge once and for all, to increase production and make the sector much competitive?
Yeah, illegal mining rules out large portions of potential areas where banana could be grown. Banana employs large numbers of people. So it's important that we provide the opportunity for investors who want to go into these areas, local and foreign, to do business in this and employ youth. So it's a general problem for agriculture. There's a need to really control illegal mining, especially in the river valleys, areas where potential agriculture areas, to ensure that they remain available for agriculture now and in the future.
Great. George Poyer, we're grateful that you could join us. He's secretary to the Banana Exporters Association as the world, including Ghana, marks the International Banana Day. We're grateful once again for his time. Now, the Vice President of Costa Rica, Epsi Campbell-Barr, has touted the tourism potential between Ghana and Costa Rica. Madam Campbell-Barr, who is on a 5-day visit to Ghana, will tour sites in Cape Coast and Akwemum in the central and eastern regions to visit areas where slaves were transported to the Caribbean. There is more in this report.
Tourism has been a major foreign earner for Ghana for decades. Recently, the Ghana Investment Promotion Center and the Ghana Tourism Authority launched the Year of Return project to bring back Africans in the diaspora to Ghana. Afterwards, the government continued with the Beyond the Return initiative to make Ghana a tourist destination. As part of the initiative, the Vice President of Costa Rica, Epsi Campbell-Barr, has visited Ghana to reconnect with Black history through tourism. Speaking to journalists in Accra shortly after arriving, Campbell-Barr said there is a strong tourism connection between Ghana and the Costa Rican history.
The continent, but also to think in the future, what we can do together to build our countries and our people. And that's why I'm so excited to be here. My heart is, it is plenty of love, because I feel that I come back to my motherland as an African woman in the continent. We, with the government of Ghana, but also with the leaders here, women and men, we are trying to make a difference in our history.
And that'll be all for the marketplace. For more news, log on to myjoyonline.com. I'm Charles Aite. Many thanks for watching.